क्या डाल रहा है? रीलोड डालना।
थोड़ा प्रैक्टिस करना, नहीं सीधा जाना रीलोड।
सीधा जाना। मैं सुबह से रीलोड कर रहा।
कितना रीलोड हुआ?
तुम बोलना।
स्क्वाड लगाना डुओ।
हाँ।
तुम रेडी अप करेगा तभी तो जाएगा ना। क्या कर रहा है, लाइव कर रहा है?
हाँ कर रहा।
मेरे को तो लाइव नहीं दिख रहा है भाई, ये बोल रहा हूँ।
मैं तो देखता।
नहीं
इससे चेक
इधर
कर।
मैं। हाँ अभी आया आया आया। आया वाईटी आया। ऐसा लगता है तुम सस्ता नशा करके गेम खेल रहा है।
बढ़िया बढ़िया बढ़िया। घर पे मिनी है।
मैंने उसको सॉफ्टवेयर डाल के किधर उड़ा दिया।
कुछ तो।
ये इधर इधर इधर। इधर कॉर्नर 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 में। तुम्हारे पीछे कोई आ रहा है, बॉक्स में रहे। इधर इधर ऊपर ऊपर तुम्हारे पीछे बॉक्स में रहे। नीचे वाला वॉल बैक कर रहा है, ऊपर क्रॉस करके बैठा है।
बढ़िया दिख रहा है। मस्त।
कौन सा स्किन?
वही तुम्हारा।
तुम भी डाल, तुम्हारे पे भी है।
क्या है?
ये या नहीं?
हम्म।
ध्यान मदर चोद।
और भाई क्या चल
क्या
रहा
बोल?
है? रूम
कुछ
में शिफ्ट
नहीं।
किया।
यस अभी आएगा मजा।
मैं डायरेक्ट सो गई भाई। 12:30 तक खेला और मैं
खत्म।
सो खत्म। माफ कर दे।
अच्छा लग रहा है ना अभी?
हाँ हाँ।
क्या बोलना?
पीसी क्लीन किया बढ़िया। 37 टेम्परेचर आ रहा।
क्या आ रहा है?
37 आ रहा है टेम्परेचर। अभी इधर टर्न शुरू। भाई इधर एक डिसएडवांटेज है, बैटरी
क्या?
बैकअप नहीं।
अच्छा बैटरी हट।
हाँ,
ये क्या था?
लाइट
ये
जाए तो खत्म।
ए प्रभु ये क्या हुआ? तुम
ठीक
ऊपर
है।
डालना फिर।
हाँ,
ऊपर डालना कुछ करना उसका। तुम
लेट
ऐसा
गेम
नहीं
पे
करे तो
डालना भाई।
कुछ नहीं हो। तुम एक बार सोलो लेवलिंग खेलना।
इधर
बस स्टोरी मोड खेल भाई।
सोलो लेवलिंग करना क्या?
सोलो।
नहीं, फ्री है क्या वो?
यस फ्री है। क्या चाहिए और?
बहुत डाला।
मैं बोल रहा हूँ एक बार ट्राई कर भाई।
लोग देखेगा क्या?
यस लोग दिखेगा। तुम उस पर बोलना, स्टोरी एक्सप्लेन करते रहना, गेम खेलते रहना। जब तक टूर्नामेंट नहीं हो तब तक खेलना। टूर्नामेंट बस भाई वो गेम की ज़्यादा टाइम नहीं, बस 1 आवर ही खेलना। समझ में आया? मतलब वो उधर तुमको एक सिग्नल आएगा, उधर वो तुमको बोलेगा कि 1 आवर से ज़्यादा मत खेल। समझ में आया?
ठीक है, ठीक है, ठीक।
नोटिफिकेशन आ गया भाई। बोल रहा अभी डाल डाउनलोड को। अभी डालेगा इस मैच के बाद।
मुश्किल है भाई करना।
नहीं
कितना जीबी है?
बस 6 GB।
हाँ,
6 शायद 6 ही होगा, या शायद 10 भी हो सकता है। बस 10 के अंदर ही है।
नहीं
ज़्यादा
छोड़।
टाइम नहीं लगे। हाँ
नहीं।
नहीं खेलेगा। छोड़ो फिर। क्योंकि मेरा उस गेम खेलने की वजह से मेरा जो क्या बोलते हैं, मेरा बटन प्रेस करने का एकदम एक्यूरेसी बढ़ गया।
मुश्किल है।
तो तुमको मैं अभी डिस्कॉर्ड पे दिखाऊंगा। मैं ट्यूजडे जा रहा हूँ। अरे तुम मत आ, तुम बैठा रह इधर। शूट हो रहा है लेफ्ट में।
कुछ स्टेप मेरा आगे।
आई एम रेडी। कौन है वाइटी? तुम ना इतना क्राउच कर रहा है। मार, मरे तो मरे। जाके मार भाई, ये रिलोड का मतलब ये है, डब्ल्यू की को मदद करने आऊं।
हाँ रे।
क्या है बच्चे जैसा एक दूसरे को ये कर रहा है।
इधर मेरे आ गए। नहीं है इधर ऊपर।
हम क्या कर रहे हैं? इधर ऊपर चल, मैं ऊपर जाके देखो।
हमारा ऊपर ये चूती अम्मा क्या कर रहे हैं?
जोन चल
मेरे पे ऊपर ऊपर
इधर
मेरा नीचे।
इधर
इधर मेरा नीचे जो है सर। बॉडी क्रैक।
तुम्हारे मिनी है?
आ जा।
I'm dead. मिनी के बाकी
आ जा।
इधर ही हूँ तुम्हारे पीछे।
हाँ।
आ गया, कितना आना?
अभी आ रहा है, मैं ऑलरेडी डाला था। क्रैक है।
बैक साइड एनिमी इधर ही है। मैं आ जाऊँ क्या?
चलो यार,
नहीं छोड़ रहा।
मैच नहीं है। मैच नहीं है। One knock, one knock, one knock, one knock, two knock, two knock.
रुक वाइटी वैसे मैं तुम्हारे पे आऊँगा। तू हाइड हो जा, हाइड हो जा, हाइड हो जा। मार मार मार, जल्दी मार। वो नहीं मार रहा है, टाइम वेस्ट कर रहा है तुम्हारा भाई।
हाँ।
पता चला क्यों नहीं मार रहा है वो? अबे फक, क्या चुपचाप है?
आ जाना। मैं सोचा डुओ है यार, पता बाद में पता चला स्क्वाड।
मजा आ
इतना
गया भाई।
लाग रश कर रहा था बस।
रुक मैं सुसु करके आया। पे डेड ये वाइट वन एच दो बंदे एक और स्किन है वन एच कर रहा है
नहीं है नहीं
क्या है
दोनों
दादा क्लच कर रहा है शॉट गन नहीं है मैं एसएमजी से मार रहा हूँ फाइट तुम पीछे हो जाओ वही हील कर में फाइट लेगा फाइट तो बैकग्राउंड करो 86 सॉरी
बराबर हील कर वन शॉट है वो किधर गया
वाइट शील्ड क्रैक है उसका
easier yes kill them tip
kill the both बाजू हजम
मेरे टीम में
मेडिकेट नहीं अभी कुछ नहीं मिला
नो मेडिकेट ब्रदर मेडिकेट वो ले लिया
उसको बोल गेम चैनल में चल फिर। एसएमजी आमो।
एसएमजी आमोला मेरे किट मिला।
भाग रहा।
मेरे को ये चाहिए भाई।
क्या जरा शूटर राइट में राइट में राइट में। पानी में। अब ना मैं इस हुआ मां बच्चों। आप भी जाके उसको फिक्स करना।
भाई वन शॉट है। वन शॉट।
किधर है?
चांस ही नहीं पता।
किधर है? उसके तुम्हारा लोड ना?
नहीं वो उसका लोड।
तुम्हारा नहीं?
हाँ ये
ले लूँ या वो ले रहा है? ले लो क्या मैं? ले भाई मजाक कर रहा है। भाई
इधर है।
ऑन मी। मेरे मैच नहीं। ऊपर एक नॉक है।
ऊपर वो नहीं होगा।
क्या नहीं होगा?
ऊपर से स्प्रे कर रहा है।
मेरे मैच नहीं है बस यही बात है।
ये ले ले। मेरे पे वन शॉट है। मेरे पे
रुक मैं हील कर मैं वन शॉट। रुक जाओ किधर तुम?
नीचे नीचे
मरना नहीं मार दिया तो बढ़िया। नहीं बढ़िया, तुम अभी रिबूट होगा, टेंशन की बात नहीं।
मार
उधर भी हमारे लेफ्ट में लॉन्ग शॉट में भाई, जो क्लोज में उसको मार जा। आ जाओ मारना, आज जल्दी आ जाओ। वो आगे जा रहा है, वही है शायद, उसके पास शायद ग्रैपलर है। मेरा आगे 60-70 इधर मेरे पे जा बेटी। अरे ऊपर ऊपर शूट करने गया मैं। 1 2 3
ट्रक वो भाग गए इधर, मारना उसको।
इधर आगे इधर के 4v4
बस 200 निकल है
मुझे। मैं आरपीजी मुझे
नहीं पीछे तो नहीं ब्लू हिल है।
वाइट है I'm dead. Easy way. Wait. मेरा डेड आ रहा waiting. कम
मार दे यारो, मैं विल कर।
इसको बोल, इस चूतिया नहीं कर रही भाई, क्या है?
मैं आ रहा हूँ।
मैं इधर खड़ा आ ही नहीं रहा है। ओपन में उधर पीछे ओपन, ध्यान रखना। पीछे एक बंदा कोई क्राउच करके स्नाइप कर रहा है। तुम्हारे पे हील्स है?
नहीं है।
मेरे पे आ जाओ, मेरे पे आ जाओ, एक बंदा मेरे पे आ जाओ, कम है, कम वाइट को मार,
ನೀನೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದ
कम है, कम
ಹೌದಾ ಊಟ ಮಾಡ್ದ ಏನು ತಿಂದ ಹಿಡ್ಕೋದ ಯಾಕೆ ಹೌದಾ ಓಕೆ ಅದೇ ಟ್ರಾವೆಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಮತ್ತೆ
हेलो
ಹಾಂ ಬೋಲ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ನೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ದ ಐ ವಾಸ್ ಈಟಿಂಗ್ ಚಾಕ್ಲೇಟ್ ಅಷ್ಟೆ ಸರಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಏನಂದ್ರು ಮನೇಲಿ ಹಾಂ ಸರಿ ಸರಿ ಅದೇ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹೊತ್ತು ಮಲ್ಕೋ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡು ಸರಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳು ನಾನಿಲ್ಲೇ ಮನೇಲಿ ಹೋಗೀನಿ ರೂಮಿಗೆ ಶಿಫ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಫೀಲಿಂಗ್ ಗುಡ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟರ್ಬೆನ್ಸ್ ಏನೂ ಇಲ್ಲ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸರಿ ನನ್ನ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮಿಂಗ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ನನ್ನ ಕ್ಯಾಮ್ರಾ ಫುಲ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಬರ್ತೈತೆ ನೋಡು ಸರಿ ಬಾಯ್
हेलो
ಬಾಯ್ बोल भाई क्या हाँ
क्या बोलूं
क्या हुआ Oh my god, I don't have it.
down, bro. Go, 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 go. On me.
Man.
Annie. Fast, double. Double spam. Mother चो.
इधर है,
ऊपर राइट पे.
इधर ही आया, क्रॉस करो.
उसका फ्रेंड उधर है ऊपर. किसी पास वाइट हिल है.
मेरे पे एक, मतलब वो एक स्प्लैश.
यूज कर भाई, मेरे मरने के बाद यूज करेगा. लगता था ऐसा ही है.
पुश अप.
इधर दे हिल दे ही आ रहा है यहाँ. यही कर रहा है. वाह.
ले भाई.
I'm dead.
इतना है.
चल भाई, न्यू गेम ट्राई कर. आजा.
हाँ.
बोर हो रहा है. टूर्नामेंट भी नहीं है. क्या करेगा.
दूसरा गेम.
फ्री है, खेल के देख. क्या बोलता है, ट्राई करेगा नहीं. छोड़ फिर.
तुम शेयर कर कैसा.
तो फिर 2 मिनट कर रहा. गेम बंद करो अभी
फिर
डिस्कॉर्ड पे.
स्ट्रीम करना तुम यूट्यूब में.
नहीं डिस्कॉर्ड पे तुमको
क्यों.
देखना है तो बोल.
तुम
तुमको
स्ट्रीम
देखना है.
करना, तुम खेल रहे तो मैं
तुमको
देखेगा.
देखना है.
हाँ.
ठीक है, मैं लीव कर रहा. ठीक है, डिस्कॉर्ड पे ज्वाइन हो जाओ. गेम बंद करना पड़ेगा, ठीक है. हेलो।
हम्म।
क्या भाई, सस्ते नशे कौन से हैं?
हम्म।
तुमको देखना है ना?
हम्म।
दिख रहा है?
हम्म।
दिख रहा है ना?
हम्म।
हेलो।
हाँ दिख रहा।
इसका अपडेट भी आता है पता है? इसे लॉगिन कर देता हूँ। भाई उधर तुमको टाइम मतलब पता है, 2 मिनट के अंदर तुम्हें उसको खत्म करना है, उसका पावर एबिलिटी, और तुमको बटन उतने स्पीड से बटन दबाना है पता है?
ऐसा ऐसा।
पता है अभी मेरा लेवल कितना है?
कितना?
अभी मेरा लेवल हो चुका है, ये देखा, ये न्यू अपडेट है, ये अपडेट वगैरह है। ये देख, ये देख, माइनिंग, मेल बॉक्स से कुछ आया। ओह,
हम्म।
ये देख, दिख रहा है गेम? ये देख, दिख रहा है गेम मोड? हेलो।
हम्म।
ये गेम मोड है।
हम्म।
इधर देख, स्टोरी दिख रहा है?
हम्म।
स्टोरी है ना, हार्ड मोड भी है,
हम्म।
नॉर्मल भी है।
हम्म।
नॉर्मल है,
हम्म।
दिख रहा है?
हम्म।
ये देख, ये देख, दिख रहा है?
हम्म।
कैसा? ये देख, ये सीजन है, ये सीजन 2।
हम्म।
इसमें मेरा रैंकिंग देख कितना है,
हम्म।
दिख रहा है रैंक?
हम्म। दिख रहा है।
हेलो।
हम्म।
और इसमें तुमको एक खेल के दिखाऊं?
हम्म।
ये देख।
फोन में भी है ऐसा।
क्या?
अभी तुम खेल रहा ना ऐसा।
हाँ, फोन में भी है क्या? ये देखा, ये वेपन से मैं वेपन चेंज कर रहा हूँ, ये देख। इधर एबिलिटी तुम चेंज कर सकता है,
हम्म।
ये एबिलिटीज है। ये देख, ये देख, इधर मैं ये लगा रहा हूँ। ये देख, ये एबिलिटी होती है ना, इसमें सब कुछ लिखा होता है, ये देख। एक बस एग्जाम को लेकर देख रहा हूँ, एक है, क्या बोलते, बैटलफील्ड है, दिख रहा है?
यस।
अब देखो फिर, दिख रहा था।
He's all mine. It's no use.
पता है ऐसा पूरा फिनिश करना पावर यूज करना।
उधर ऊपर दिख रहा है टाइम,
हम्म।
टाइम दिख रहा है?
यस दिख रहा। डंजन
ये
हंटर
देख,
फोन में है ऐसा। डियाब्लो।
ये देख,
डियाब्लो है ना ऐसा है।
ये देख।
हम्म।
From beginning. Too slow. I'll back you up.
शैडो स्टेप।
हम्म।
Time for a counterattack.
दिख रहा है?
हम्म।
This is the end. Green. And open it.
राइस, ये देख, ये देख। टाइम के, तुम टाइम से पहले मारो तो ठीक भाई, वरना वो नहीं मरेगा। ये देख, ऊपर दिख रहा है तुमको उसका एचपी? ये देख
Now, shut. This is
ये देख बहुत गंदा मारता है भाई स्टोरी लाइन भी
नहीं हो बच्चों, इतना मारने को नहीं हो।
नहीं भाई उसकी पावर उतना है इसीलिए ये
it's no use.
ये वही तो,
Free.
बस इतना ही।
This is the end. Vanish into this.
क्लियर
It was a good fight.
ये भाई,
ये देख आइटम मिला रिवॉर्ड मिलता है ये देख इसमें नहीं क्या भाई
ऐसा
समनर भी
गेम-
पता है इसमें
ऐसा-
समनर भी है तुम समन
पता
कर सकते
है,
हो
मैं ऐसा गेम में फोन में खेल रहा था।
ये अभी रिलीज हुआ है ये देख
डंजन हंटर तुम जाके देख, सेम है।
तुम खेला है गेम
हम्म
फोन में खेला
हम्म, ये ऐसा गेम खेल के छोड़ दिया।
ऐसा गेम नहीं खेला होगा भाई
फोन में है भाई, बिल्कुल है सेम, ऐसे ही सेम पूरा। मैं लेवल पूरा कर दिया, ऐसा लगेगा मैं गॉड।
बॉट है
ठीक है,
ठीक है और क्या लगेगा
बैटलफील्ड खेल रहा था, अभी बैटलफील्ड नहीं है।
बस ये फिर गेम मोड ये देख स्टोरी लाइन रिवर्स एंड गेट्स डेंजन इसमें है देखा
120 हाँ।
इसमें ये भी है भाई ये देख
Flux.
वार जोन है।
I'm ready.
दिखा ना
Let's try. I'm
Hmm.
ready. Time.
पता,
Let's try.
ठीक है।
हाँ बस यही है फिर क्या बोलूं एक गन्स इधर इधर देख ये देख स्किल्स इधर
Time to warm up.
ये स्किल प्रीव्यू
हाँ पता है, स्किल भी है। तुम शैड ऑफ मॉडर तुम दे खेलना भाई, शैड ऑफ मॉडर।
The end.
शॉट ऑफ मॉडर्न
यूट्यूब में जाओ।
2 मिनट
Now, shut.
दिखाओ
हाँ शैड ऑफ,
शा- 2 मिनट अरे हाँ
मिडिल ईस्ट, क्या ये क्या बोलता, मिडिल ईस्ट, मिडिल
शैडो क्या लिखना है
शैडो।
शैडो डीओ ना शैडो
हाँ।
मतलब हाँ, बोल।
डब्ल्यू एन शोडाउन हो रहा है।
क्या शैडो
रोज मैं स्क्रीन।
हेलो
हाँ हाँ
भाई सही से बताओ क्या बोल रहे हो
हाँ, ये नहीं मैं तो मैं से शेयर करेगा ग्रुप पर।
सेंड करेगा चार्ट
नहीं
स्क्रीन शेयर कर रहा है
हाँ
क्या कर रहा है
ग्रुप पर है। अरे स्क्रीन ये क्या शैडो। इतना ऐड हो गए हाँ।
Cool.
Whoa.
Doing is the new learning.
ब्लैक में तारा
यस तुम खेलना भाई, तुम
हाँ।
इमीडिएटली लेना और
सर्व करो।
रिव्यू तुम
Simply
व्यूज
visit
देखती तुम्हारे सब्सक्राइबर कैसे बढ़ते हैं।
Mr.
ठीक है।
SIP और
वही तो
सीखो SIP
मैं
के साथ कैसे
सोचा।
हो सकते हैं आपके
तुम ट्राई
सपने
करके देख,
पूरे
100% होगा भाई।
systematically।
हाँ
म्यूचुअल फंड
100%
निवेश
होगा।
बाजार जोखिमों
हाँ,
के अधीन
100%
है।
सक्सेसफुल
योजना
होगा।
से जुड़े सभी दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
क्या है, थोड़ा बड़ा कर।
पता नहीं ये वो पता नहीं तुम पैरी फाइट को ये पूरा यूज करना। बॉस फाइट भी है ठीक है। हाँ
भाई साहब क्या बोल रहा है ये, और गेम में ये नहीं बोल रहा, मैं स्टोरी बोल रहा हूँ।
स्टोरी मोड है क्या बोलना
अरे नहीं, उसकी स्टोरी पढ़ना तुमको इजी। ये यार ये आज तक ये इन लोगों से चुराया भाई यार।
और ये आई थिंक ये
एक काम करो, ऊपर डाल तुम, मैं जो बोल रहा हूँ वो डाल।
और दूसरा है मैं आरिजन बढ़िया है।
पता है,
हाँ
मैं जो बोल रहा हूँ वो डाल ऊपर।
क्या
ऊपर डाल नहीं एनिमी दे, तुम एनिमी देखा है सोलो लेवलिंग का?
एनिमी
एनिमी देखा है एनिमी?
नहीं
ट्रेलर देख ले,
देखा
समझ में।
सोलो लेवलिंग में देखा ट्रेलर। दूसरा बॉल सोलो लेवलिंग छोड़ कर
दूसरा फिर फिलहाल अभी कौन सा देख रहा हूँ मैं, क्या क्या ही बोलना।
फाइट ऐसा होगा तुमको पता है लॉर्ड ऑफ वॉर ये अपडेटेड है।
We can't take back!
लॉर्ड
I
ऑफ द रिंग
suppose we
पता है
could
ऐसा
stoop
रिंग।
down to the level of manswine and traitor for a
Huh?
day. It'll be just long enough to wreck your
आगे
army
Huh?
and kill
आगे ले,
you!
क्या
Wait your order.
थोड़ा आगे ले।
Must
थोड़ा
be
वाइस
tiring spending every day counting your loot.
ऐसा
भाई, इस गेम में और उस गेम में बहुत ज़्यादा डिफरेंस है, ठीक है।
यस मिडिल में चार मिडिल में तुम्हारा टीम भी है वो भी है। ऐसा छोड़े तो भाई ये हार है क्या।
नहीं भाई, ये गेम तो नहीं होगा मुझसे, ये गेम तो नहीं होगा, बिल्कुल भी नहीं होगा। क्या कॉल ऑफ ड्यूटी, ड्रैगन बॉल जी? नहीं भाई, नहीं नहीं नहीं,
हाँ
ये बस एनिमे में अच्छा है, गेम में नहीं।
गेम क्यों क्यों भाई
मत नहीं, गेम खराब कर देगा।
क्यों ऐसा बोल रहा ये देख
नहीं,
ये पता है ये गेम।
पता है पता है,
हाँ
वो भी मत देख मत देख।
बढ़िया है भाई।
नहीं, ये ऊपर देख, सॉफ्ट गेम मदर चोद, क्या है यूज कर रहा है, देख देख देख, क्लिक कर उस पे भाई, क्या है।
अनडिटेक्टेड
देख क्या छूटे हुआ, सॉफ्ट गेम लेना।
कैसे
गूगल पे जाओ, डाल सॉफ्ट गेम फोरनाइट, एम फोरनाइट, बस क्लिक कर, देख सॉफ्ट नीचे 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 ले, हाउ टू इंस्टॉल ऑन पीसी एंड, ओके, उधर लिखा है भाई, पता नहीं, कुछ ना कुछ तो होगा ही।
भाई डिटेक्टिव और
भाई
बैंक
तुम छोड़ क्या बोलता है। चल
ये
ठीक है फिर,
तो
मैं जा रहा हूँ भाई फिर।
क्यों
मैं थोड़ा स्टडी करूँगा।
बाद में आएगा।
हाँ क्या करूँ फिर, अभी
ठीक
कोई टूर्नामेंट भी नहीं है, तुमको
है
बोला मैंने एक बार गेम ट्राई कर। तुम पहले ही नहीं बोलते तो क्या ही बोलना फिर।
ठीक है
बस एक्सपीरियंस कर ना गेम को, नहीं हुआ तो डिलीट कर देना।
ठीक चल बाय
चल ठीक है ब्रो, फिर बाय।
कहाँ खड़ा कहाँ खड़ा
जब सारी जंग खत्म होगी
Lucky for you, the savior of Meridian. Meridian still has a few things she wants to take care of.
Successful sequels build on their predecessors in multiple ways. Think Mass Effect 2, Assassin's Creed 2 and Uncharted 2. They all improve on what came before them by conjuring up exciting new gameplay mechanics, developing characters through engaging stories, and switching up mission design to offer variety. Horizon Forbidden West does all of this with aplomb, building on the already impressive foundations of 2017's Horizon Zero Dawn to tell a thrilling story full of familiar explosive combat against elaborate robotic foes and blockbuster action sequences, but also adding Witcher-like settlements to the map and filling it out with great side quests. The result is a fantastic open-world action adventure that, despite falling into a couple of its old habits, emphatically delivers on the promises made 5 years ago.
Crazy, bro.
Once again, Aloy is on a time-sensitive mission packed with mystery, not least in its characters, many of whom are firmly established in the grey area between friend or foe. Its twists and turns are numerous, and had me guessing how it would turn out right until the end of Aloy's journey. And that journey isn't a short one. My playthrough, which was done at a fairly relaxed pace that included completing a healthy amount of side missions, took around 32 hours.
I don't know what Anora's doing out here, but consider yourself old.
Guerrilla Games has definitely learned a lesson this time around when it comes to finding a balance between world building and telling a coherent story. Horizon Zero Dawn tackled some big ambitious ideas, but sometimes stumbled when it came to conveying them in an engaging way. Forbidden West is able to confidently stride over the deep exposition potholes that Zero Dawn sometimes fell victim to, mostly mercifully avoiding lengthy information dumps in favour of a more elegantly told tale. The story's key moments are told for engaging cutscenes that contain their fair share of character-centric drama without dwelling on it long enough to overstay their welcome. This is still very much a hard sci-fi setting though, and that is where the slightly weaker parts of Forbidden West's story lay during the opening hours. This makes for an uneven start, but the pace promptly picks up and becomes much more engaging once a new threat is introduced and the true plot of Forbidden West comes to the fore. The story's strengths, however, far outweigh those awkward moments. It's much stronger when focusing on the personal dramas and social and political conflicts of the Forbidden West than when satiating its fetish for rambling holograms. There are some real standout missions too. One questline involving a clumsy but lovable inventor trying to fulfill the ambitious legacy of his grandfather is a particular high point. It's a perfect example of how well Aloy's quest collides with other people's stories to create something truly memorable. It's also worth noting here that Forbidden West is very much a sequel to Zero Dawn, meaning newcomers attempting to skip the line and jump in here may feel slightly alienated by the overarching plot, though there is still plenty to enjoy regardless.
To understand what's going on in there, you're gonna need one of these.
There are fantastic character moments that are delivered with a deft touch. It's a credit to the writers that I found myself caring so much about the fate of these people so quickly after meeting them. This goes for the actors embodying the characters too. Performances are brilliant across the board, with no one feeling out of place and even the most incidental seeming characters well observed. That's no mean feat considering the large cast of fresh faces you'll meet throughout your playthrough. The supporting cast does a great job of keeping you company. Val, an old friend of Aloy's from the Nora tribe who is with you from the opening moments, in particular provides warm companionship throughout and brings the best out of Aloy. It's a pleasant change when compared to the often lonely adventure of Zero Dawn. Actors Angela Bassett and Carrie-Anne Moss bring salvos of Hollywood caliber firepower to the story, but it's never enough to wrestle the limelight away from Ashley Birch as Aloy though. Naturally, she's at the core of everything in Forbidden West, and Birch carries that weight with confidence and panache, displaying power in loud pivotal moments, but also shining in the story's quieter, more heartfelt pockets. On the topic of the loud parts, while Zero Dawn may have been action-packed, its presentation never felt nearly as cinematic as this. Massive moments take place in masterfully choreographed cutscenes with swirling camera work, but subtler techniques, such as a wider lens used during conversations, add a filmic quality to dialogue-heavy scenes, allowing characters to use their bodies to move expressively and convey a wider range of emotion. Feelings run high over the course of the lengthy campaign too, and while this isn't anything like the trauma fest of something like The Last of Us Part 2, Forbidden West certainly tugs on the heartstrings. A stealthy approach, laying in wait to silently strike from tall grass, is almost always wise at the start of a fight, as you'll likely get into the most trouble when you're outnumbered. Even the less deadly machines, such as darting skydrifters and pouncing scrappers, pose a threat in numbers. Rarely has the saying, "attack is the best form of defense," been truer, and just as in Zero Dawn, these enemies' bodies are loaded with weak points that allow you to affect the fight and change it to your liking. Take the new Claw Strider for example. It's an extremely aggressive dino menace that can wipe you out with lashes of its devastating tail. Had enough of it, equip some tear arrows and split it straight off. That cycle of learning an enemy and their multiple different attacks, reducing the number of options available to them by targeting and destroying their weapons, and then finishing them off with ice, fire, acid, or whatever other damage types they're weak to, never grew tired over dozens of hours. The combat in Zero Dawn was already fantastic, and Forbidden West only stacks more options on top of that, such as new weapons and ammo types, and feels better and more flexible than ever as a result. The explosive spike thrower is a particularly satisfying new addition to Aloy's collection of weaponry, lodging projectiles into machines before detonating them to cause big damage. I found this to be a near essential item against some of Forbidden West's bigger beasts, many of which provide battles that are of a scale and quality that many games would aspire to for their grand finales. The superb score also soundtracks perfectly throughout, dynamically cranking up the noise during high stakes battles and adding crunchy electronics to the familiar orchestral refrains from Zero Dawn. The central piece of Aloy's arsenal remains the bow and arrow though, with many different versions on offer. Mixing and matching to make sure you have all of the different types of elemental damage you need on your weapon wheel is key. The next step is being skilled enough to hit your fast moving targets. The machines themselves are exquisitely designed, each bringing their own bag of party tricks to the West. The speed and power with which the machines move is a sight to behold. Not that you'll have much time to stop and stare as they barrel towards you, but if you allow yourself to slip into slow motion for a moment, you'll be able to see each gear ticking within their gaping jaws before you need to dodge out of the way of death.
Built for thrills, the all-electric Aether 450, the bike of scooters.
The list of impressive-looking Souls-like games on the horizon is long, with games like Phantom Blade Zero, Flintlock: The Siege of Dawn, and Wuchang Fallen Feathers all having solid showings this summer event season. But there's always been something extra special about Black Myth Wukong. It's stunningly gorgeous. The animations are incredibly fluid, it's steeped in rich Chinese culture, and there's just something immensely satisfying about playing as a Monkey King, beating up all sorts of mythical creatures with a giant extendable staff. While this isn't the first time IGN has gone hands-on with the game, it is my own personal first time with it, and after 2 hours of playtime with the opening chapter, I somehow walked away even more excited for its August 20th release. IGN China has already done an extensive preview on what Wukong plays like on a late game build, with many techniques, stances, and transformations already unlocked, which is great because my 2 hours covered pretty much the very start of the game. The first thing that I noticed as I started playing was how fluid and fast Wukong feels to control. Many Souls-likes are built on a foundation of slower and more methodical combat, but Wukong feels exceptionally quick and agile. From the beginning, there's actually no block button. Wukong can twirl his staff to block projectiles, but as far as melee attacks go, everything must be dodged. To that end, there's a Bayonetta-style dodge system, where you can dodge up to 3 times very quickly, but after the third one, you're punished with a lengthy recovery time to try and curb people from just mindlessly mashing the dodge button. Perfectly timed dodges will reward you with extra focus, and once your focus bar has been filled, you get a focus point that allows you to chain a strong attack into your light combo string for a big chunk of damage. Later on, those focus points can also be spent on different types of special moves that you unlock in the skill tree, which we'll get to a bit later. Wukong also has access to a number of spells that consume his mana. I only really got to play around with the Immobilize spell, which, as you can imagine, stops an enemy in their tracks and allows you to sneak in a few hits before the spell's effect wears off. Stronger enemies, and especially bosses, are affected by the spell much less, and sometimes they were able to shrug it off entirely. Even at just an early stage, combat was a fun dance of actively looking for opportunities to avoid enemy attacks and find openings, keeping an eye on my focus meter so that I can use a damaging heavy attack whenever I had the chance, while also managing my mana and cooldown for my immobilize spell. Eventually, I got my first transformation, which turns Wukong into an absolute beast, with much stronger attacks and a hugely damaging super attack that he can use out of a dodge if he manages to build up a focus point. One of his moves in this transformation is a lightning fast dash attack that made me feel like I had basically turned into the boss that I got the transformation from. Later on, I added another tool to my repertoire, the Tower Stance, which swapped out my chargeable overhead strong attack for the ability to stand on my staff and avoid damage on the ground as long as my stamina held out. If I managed to stay on the staff long enough for a focus point to charge, I could spend it to leap off the staff, flip it around, and come crashing down with a powerful strike that felt incredibly cool to pull off. These stances, along with my general combat abilities, point, and even more so in their second phase, find a down the road for wearing multiple pieces of gear from that set. The levels themselves were fairly linear with a couple of branching points that led to some sort of treasure or item pickup. The real star of the show, though,
Eager practice non-stop with Boost Milkshake.
Boost Milkshake, the new secret of my energy.
क्या आप ताजगी से भरपूर लैवेंडर के फूलों की खुशबू से प्यार नहीं करते, जो घुली रहती है उस शांत जंगल में जो आपके बेडरूम में है? यही है एम्बी प्योर मूड थेरेपी कलेक्शन की सुकून देने वाली खुशबू, खुशबुएं जो आपका दिल कर दे खुश.
With Xbox Game Pass, members enjoy unlimited access to hundreds of incredible games. However, with the library constantly evolving and so many fantastic titles to choose from, it can be challenging to know where to start. In this video, we've carefully selected the top 20 games currently available on Xbox Game Pass. Kicking off our list is Harold Halibut. Before diving into this game, it's important to understand what you're getting into. Harold Halibut is a slow-paced, narrative-driven adventure that doesn't reveal much on the surface. You follow the journey of the friendly yet unremarkable Harold aboard the Fedora, an underwater ship stranded on a water-covered planet for years. The station is filled with quirky characters you can interact with and assist throughout the game. While there are a few interesting gameplay moments scattered here and there, most of the time you'll be side-scrolling through corridors, engaging in mild conversations with the residents. Though this may sound like criticism, Harold Halibut's charm lies in its unique visual style and its commitment to its themes. The handmade stop-motion animation is both charming and impressive. There's truly no other game that looks like Harold Halibut. Number 19 is The Quarry, one of Supermassive's best horror adventure experiences. Much like Until Dawn, it pays homage to classic horror, emphasizing movies over games. The story follows 8 teenagers who decide to spend a night at the eponymous location. Unsurprisingly, this proves to be an unwise decision. While The Quarry offers a thrilling solo experience, it truly shines when you gather a group of friends to play together. If there are 8 people, they can each take charge of a character, making decisions that might or might not be for the betterment of the overall group. Even though the plot is relatively streamlined, The Quarry presents players with a decent selection of choices that impact a character's survival rate. Next up is Astroneer, a pure survival game. With neither time limits nor set goals, you can wander the worlds of your solar system, collecting resources to research and build increasingly complex technologies. While there are no animals in this game, only plants, that doesn't mean you're free from threats. The flora can kill you with poison, explosions, and impaling spines, and it's easy to get lost, especially if you wander into caves. A missing Astroneer usually runs out of air and dies. Astroneer is definitely on the softer side of the survival spectrum. It looks inviting and fun whether your lone explorer is bounding across the colorful landscape or mining deep within underground caves. Number 17 is the Callisto Protocol. Many were disappointed with the Callisto Protocol upon its initial release, as some expected it to closely resemble Dead Space. However, as you delve into the Callisto Protocol, it becomes evident that while there are similarities in the setting and creature design, the gameplay and combat mechanics take a different approach. You assume the role of Jacob, a man unjustly imprisoned on Callisto's moon during an outbreak that transforms inmates into monsters. You'll navigate through Black Iron Prison, utilizing timed melee attacks, dodging monstrous strikes, and conserving ammo for encounters with larger foes. The tension mounts as you explore the decrepit prison corridors, and the visuals are striking despite the eerie surroundings. Its straightforward narrative and availability on Xbox Game Pass make it an accessible choice for horror fans. If you're looking for another thrilling horror experience, the Callisto Protocol is definitely worth checking out. Number 16 is Lies of P. While Souls-like games have carved out their own niche, they still fall under the action RPG category. Lies of P offers an inspired interpretation of the Soulsborne formula, even though its core mechanics remain close to what's traditionally expected. Players assume the role of Pinocchio and embark on a journey through what was once a splendid gothic paradise, now teeming with deadly puppets of diverse shapes and sizes. Unlike some other games in this genre, Lies of P showcases a fixed protagonist and doesn't provide an abundance of customization options, particularly in the early hours of play. Players can choose from 3 combat styles and unlock new weapons at a steady, manageable pace. Notably, Lies of P stands out in its combat and enemy design, delivering fast-paced and aggressive action that challenges players to master every facet of the game, with a particular emphasis on parrying. If you're a Soulsborne fan looking for a new challenge, Lies of P is a must-try. Number 15 is another crab's treasure. This delightful game puts you in the shell of a small hermit crab, whose cozy home is repossessed by a lone shark on behalf of the Duchess of Slacktide. Thus begins your quest to reclaim your shell, uncover the mysteries of this decaying ocean world, and take on a plethora of challenging bosses. In essence, Another Crab's Treasure combines the challenging gameplay of a Souls-like with adorable visuals and a healthy dose of humor. We were pleasantly surprised by its charm and found its deep yet accessible mechanics to be perfect for players of all ages looking for a unique twist on the genre. Number 14 is LEGO Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. The Skywalker Saga covers the main 9 Star Wars movies, presenting fans with an opportunity to play through the most memorable moments from the original prequel and sequel trilogies. Each film contains a couple of unique missions that are relatively linear in scope, although they do provide some room for exploration. More importantly, the Skywalker Saga also includes free-roaming hubs that are effectively open worlds. Players can travel to and investigate some of Star Wars' iconic planets and moons. While relatively relaxing, these sections can spontaneously turn into battle zones, so they are not just designed for sightseeing. If nothing else, this LEGO game allows fans to live within the Star Wars universe, one that has been immaculately recreated by TT Games. Number 13 is Ninja Gaiden Master Collection. If you missed out on the hype initially, this 3-game compilation from 2007's Ninja Gaiden Sigma to 2013's Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge is a must-play. The series follows the exploits of a skilled ninja, setting the standard for action-adventure games that don't compromise on difficulty. It's not the most hardcore action game out there, but it won't hold your hand through the learning curve either. Despite the name, this is not a stealth action title. It's a no-holds-barred brawler with slick high-speed combos against multiple enemies, wall-running parkour, and occasionally frustrating boss fights. It sets the bar for combat-centric action games that many contemporary titles struggle to match. Number 12 is Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire. Obsidian Entertainment has firmly established itself as a leading developer in the RPG sphere, and Pillars of Eternity may well be the company's crowning achievement. While both entries in the series rank among the best role-playing games on Xbox Game Pass, Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire gets the nod, as it saw the franchise evolve beyond its Baldur's Gate roots into something more unique. This pirate-themed isometric role-playing game provides players with a ship and a crew to sail the ocean, allowing them to visit a multitude of islands and engage in naval battles throughout their journey. The story is solid, but Deadfire shines the brightest in its combat, customization, and sense of discovery. Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire is an exceptional role-playing experience that truly lets you forge your own path in a rich, multi-layered world. Number 11 is Chivalry 2. After a surprisingly thorough tutorial that teaches players how to expertly wield giant broadswords, players enter a team-based multiplayer siege or battle royale, where all that training goes out the window. Chivalry 2 captures the chaos of having 64 players with swords collide and fight for survival. Complete with a dedicated screen button, every player in a match experiences their own little piece of a loud, brutal, and sometimes silly medieval war. It can take some practice for any one player to make an impact on the larger battle, but even the most timid foot soldier will have fun laying siege to a castle. If you're enjoying this video, we'd really appreciate it if you gave us a thumbs up. Number 10 is Overcooked 2. The best local co-op games can often be challenging and competitive, but Overcooked 2 takes it to another level and can even put strong friendships to the test. While losing to a friend in Mario Kart 8 can cause some frustration and occasional outbursts, the high-pressure environment of running a restaurant is on a whole different level. As orders come in, players must collaborate and communicate effectively to keep up with the increasing demands. Poor communication and coordination can lead to wasted time and mistakes, which can be frustrating. However, when everyone works together seamlessly and the kitchen runs like clockwork, it's a rewarding experience. Number 9 is Guilty Gear Strive, one of the best fighting games on Game Pass. It strikes a perfect balance between deep mechanics and accessibility for newcomers to the genre. While the campaign is minimal, there are plenty of ways to enjoy the game, including hosting matches with friends, practicing moves solo, and participating in multiplayer offerings like The Tower. With a decent roster of characters to experiment with, you'll find your favorite and master their combos for some unforgettable fights. While no fighting game is perfect, Guilty Gear Strive comes pretty close. Number 8 is Psychonauts 2. 16 years may seem like a long wait for a proper sequel, but that doesn't diminish the satisfaction of experiencing it. Psychonauts 2 delivers all the vibrant, zany third-person action platforming madness that made the original a cult classic. Players once again assume control of Raz Aquato as he continues his ascent through the ranks of the legendary Psychonauts. A new villain has emerged to torment the minds of our favorite psychics, but the familiar mechanics of the original game return with even greater polish. It's truly fantastic to see a Psychonauts sequel that still embodies the heart and charm of the original. Number 7 is Ni no Kuni 2: The Revenant Kingdom. This JRPG is not simply a retread of its predecessor. It features significantly different combat and completely removes the Pokemon-like monster taming system. As a result, people who did not like Wrath of the White Witch might still enjoy its sequel, especially if they appreciate hack-and-slash action similar to the Tales franchise. Although it struggles to match the whimsy and heart of its more decorated older sibling, The Revenant Kingdom still succeeds in telling a gripping story filled with memorable characters. Visually, the game looks gorgeous, and Level 5 did an impressive job of replicating Studio Ghibli's aesthetic for the cutscenes. As The Revenant Kingdom has very few direct ties to its predecessor, newcomers can jump straight into the sequel without feeling like they are missing out. It is arguably more satisfying to play than Wrath of the White Witch, although both games rank among the best JRPGs on Xbox Game Pass. Next up is War Tales, a title unlike any other open-world project on Xbox Game Pass. It's an RPG with survival elements set in a dark fantasy kingdom that is anything but forgiving. The game doesn't hold your hand. Instead, it challenges you to find your own path. You'll create a mercenary group that you must lead to success in a world defined by conflict and war. Rather than a traditional story, the campaign is primarily driven by party freedom and choice, and players must constantly make decisions that could be unpopular with the rest of the group. Survival is key, with the need to manage food and payments regularly and keep the mercenaries happy. War Tales' map is expansive and detailed, though it's structured differently from most open-world games. Players travel across a large world map dotted with locations like dungeons and villages. Villages are where players interact with NPCs and pick up contracts that lead to turn-based battles in dungeons. The combat is quite good and can be fairly challenging at times. Overall, War Tales offers many great features and mechanics that differentiate it from other open-world games available on Game Pass. Number 5 is Middle-earth: Shadow of War. While Shadow of Mordor was a fantastic adventure in its own right, Shadow of War perfected the franchise's mechanics and elevated them by giving players the freedom to explore a large Shadow of War also in the world, like its predecessor experience and main weapon types, each offering is moving towards a more inclusive. Ultimately, Diablo 4 offers a narrative-driven predecessor. Hellblade 2 features even more stunning visuals, immersive sound design, and a deeper dive into Senua's psyche. The combat system has been refined for a more fluid and intense experience, challenging players to master Senua's skills. The story remains central, intertwining themes of mental health, mythology, and personal struggle in a compelling and emotionally impactful way. With its unique blend of action, exploration, and psychological depth, Hellblade 2 is a must-play title on Xbox Game Pass. Number 1 is Star Wars Jedi Survivor, easily one of the best open-world games available on Xbox Game Pass. It serves as the sequel to Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, bringing back many great tropes from its predecessor while also establishing its own identity with new mechanics and story elements. The physics and graphics of the game are top-notch, featuring a comprehensive map of different areas across several planets that players can explore and interact with. The scenery and wildlife are beautiful, and the gameplay is phenomenal, with only a few minor bugs. Star Wars Jedi.
Xbox has provided us with a ton of games on Xbox Game Pass so far this year, from some big AAA releases released so far break new ground. Competitors. Teamwork provides a distinct tactical advantage in Hell Let Loose. Ubisoft blessed us with another Assassin's Creed game on Xbox Game Pass earlier this year, and gamers finally got to experience one of the first games that arrived for the next generation. Assassin's Creed Valhalla follows the story of Eivor, who is a legendary Viking warrior, as you explore England's Dark Ages and also get to experience the snowy countryside of Norway. This Assassin's Creed is quite possibly the largest entry in the franchise's history, with well over 200 hours worth of content and gameplay. There is plenty to experience, as you can imagine, and I do still get enthralled to this day when executing a raid on a local settlement. One game that actually joined Assassin's Creed Valhalla on the very same day is the indie darling known as Figment. Figment 2 was added towards the back end of 2023, but now we can experience the fantastic prequel to this action-adventure game. Figment has always had a pretty unique concept, and not only puts you in a surreal universe, but has you attacking foes and taking on some pretty complex puzzles. The music in this game is exceptional, especially with the boss fights that you'll encounter, as they are all centered around their own musical beats. Coming out of nowhere and instantly establishing itself as one of Game Pass's best games, Palworld is just unbelievably good. Pocket Pet aimed for the stars by delivering a project that, on paper, appears to spread itself too thin. However, the 2024 game comes together to create a surprisingly cohesive experience. Now, ultimately, this is and developers did formula. JRPG dropped onto Xbox. This next title got released last year and was a surprising hit, especially since it was in development hell for so many years. We finally saw the release of the excellent Dead Island 2, and it finally came to Game Pass this year. This time, instead of a beach resort like the previous entry, we are instead being introduced to a hellish version of anything that to the IP, and since the mechanics are introduced.
Nice. Cool.
Whoa.
Doing is the new learning.
So this company recently announced that anyone can make a game without writing a line of code.
Used frequently enough to ensure things remain interesting throughout. Now, this game is seen more as a DLC to Resident Evil play with stunning graphics. If you're farming adventure, you won't have heard of large open areas. This game really reminds you of games from the 360 era, which certainly isn't a bad thing, as it's a one and cannot really see Vision Blizzard game that entered Game Pass gruesome in some really chaotic and fun races. The attention to detail on each Hot Wheels game. Before we dive into the remaining games, do continue playing on Game Pass and Drive. My heroes. Yes. Now, it is scaled tactical battles and complex economic and social simulation game, being made and a linear story to the structure of what a Souls-like is. Not to be confused with its predecessor of the same name, this title takes on a more fluid and linear approach to the franchise, making the mechanics flow better than your typical Souls title. You will play as a lamp bearer, traversing the brutal world 1,000 years after the original game. The world of Axiom is your playground, and as a lamp bearer, you can resurrect, utilize magic, and see a world beyond the veil of the living. This was one of the most recent additions to the Game Pass library last month, and was a welcome one at that. One game that you need to pick up and play is Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and this game is certainly one that I can highly recommend. Jedi Survivor is a follow-up to the fantastic Jedi Fallen Order, and follows the Jedi in the fields, customized weapons and gear, pass. Now, we had and this Han, you wanted the players down, and it day of summer camp where teenage counselors of Hecat's Quarry are throwing a party to celebrate, and as you can imagine, things take a dark and blood-drenched turn as partying turns into life or death situations. If you're intrigued about the idea of a 10 to 15 hour interactive movie, or a game that blends cinematic storytelling with occasional player input, then this is the game for you. After many months of asking and seeing some heavy discounts, Xbox Game Pass is finally fun. Now, a game that was originally this game has a series. Now, Anna once more and slashes his way through 10 of the do drag on, but the boss fight blend of shooting and brutal close quarters melee combat to fight your way through the maximum security Black Iron prison.
super prawn curry, mast meen gassi. All your favorite fish recipes begin with delicious fresh fish and seafood. Caught fresh, never frozen. So you can truly enjoy the flavors of home. Order from Licious today.
Xbox Game Pass is bursting with incredible open-world titles, but with so many options, choosing just one can be overwhelming. Fear not, explorers. We swarmed the depths of Game Pass and created the ultimate list of the top 20 open-world games, kicking off the list with no matching things. Here, it's all about cruising the city of Santa Destroy that comes to the Fortnite writing, superlative boss fights, and box for a video game. Settlement make new Game Pass. To keep the merchandise tends to snow-capped of farming. The Just Cause signature grappling hook and wingsuit combo. While the story might not be groundbreaking, the core gameplay loop of unleashing chaos is undeniably fun. However, fans of the series should be aware that Just Cause 4 is considered a bit of a step down from its predecessors. Next up is No Man's Sky. When No Man's Sky is groundbreaking, the core gameplay loop of unleashing chaos create distinct environments within this vast world. The size isn't too troubling though, as there are many ways to get around quickly, including Just Cause's signature grappling hook and wingsuit combo. While the story might not be groundbreaking, the core gameplay loop of unleashing chaos was full of bugs. One of the open world exploration in No Man's Sky is spectacular. Next up, they may resemble Pokemon, but this is no Pokemon game. You guys has mastered the full of people. The game is new ways to snow and rewarding open world game. If you've enjoyed the forest area, superhero themed adventures featuring everyone's though. One ship in particular cast an immersive world will the gate. Thought's latest hardware linear by design. However, players are given free rein in how they approach
और भाई इधर ही बेटा नहीं 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 तुम क्या कर रहा? अभी मैं थोड़ा रेस्ट करके आया। टाइम कब आएगा अंकित? ठीक है, ये आधा घंटे के बाद। हाँ चल बाय। हाँ यस